Good afternoon. This is All India Radio. I'm Anuja Kumar and with me is Abhishek Mukhopadhyay with the Midday News. The headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi says more than 3 crore poor families became Lakhpatis with PMAY housing scheme. Inaugurates 3-day urban conclave in Lucknow and lays foundation stones of 75 urban projects and schemes in Uttar Pradesh. More than 80% owners of the houses under PMAY Urban are women, and UP government is giving rebate of registration fee in case of a woman buyer, says Prime Minister. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to virtually distribute the records of land rights papers to 171,000 beneficiaries in Madhya Pradesh tomorrow. India's COVID-19 vaccination coverage crosses 91 crore mark, recovery rate at 97.93%. Karnataka issues guidelines for Dussehra and Durga Puja celebrations. Local body polling in Maharashtra underway. Indian shooter Aishwarya Pratap Singh Tomar smashes world record to clinch gold medal in men's 50-meter rifle 3-position event at ISSF Junior World Championship in Lima. And in IPL cricket, Rajasthan Royals to clash with Mumbai Indians at Sharjah this evening. As the nationwide free COVID-19 vaccination campaign at government facilities for those above 18 years is underway, we advise our young listeners to get vaccinated and also help others get vaccinated. We also advise our listeners not to lower their guard as COVID-19 remains a threat to our health. Please stay at home unless it is essential to go out and continue to follow these 3 simple steps. Wear a face mask, maintain 2 gaz ki duri for social distancing, focus on hand and face hygiene. For any COVID-related information and guidance, contact national helpline numbers 011-2397-8046 and 1075. And now the news in detail. Prime Minister Narendra Modi today said over 3 crore poor families in the country became Lakhpati with the Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana PMAY housing scheme only. The Prime Minister was speaking at the inaugural function of the New Urban India Transforming Urban Landscape Conference cum Expo at Lucknow in Uttar Pradesh today.
हमने घर का साइज भी बढ़ाने के साथ ही पैसा सीधा लाभार्थियों के बैंक खाते में भेजना शुरू किया। पीएम आवास योजना शहरी की तहत केंद्र सरकार ने करीब 1 लाख करोड़ रुपए गरीबों के बैंक खाते में ट्रांसफर किए। मेरे जो साथी जिनके पास पक्की छत नहीं थी, ऐसे 3 करोड़ परिवारों को इस कार्यकाल में एक ही योजना से लखपति बनने का अवसर मिल गया है।
The 3-day conclave on the subject is being organized at the Indira Gandhi Pratishthan in Lucknow as part of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav celebrations. He said more than 80% owners of the houses under PMAY Urban are women, and UP government is giving rebate of registration fee in case of a woman buyer.
मुझे इस बात की भी खुशी होती है कि देश में पीएम आवास योजना के तहत जो घर दिए जा रहे हैं, उनमें 80% से ज्यादा घरों पर मालिकाना हक महिलाओं का है या फिर वो ज्वाइंट ओनर है। और मुझे ये भी बताया गया कि यूपी सरकार ने तो महिलाओं के घरों से जुड़ा एक अच्छा फैसला लिया है। 10 लाख रुपए तक की राशि के घरों की रजिस्ट्री कराने पर स्टैंप ड्यूटी में महिलाओं को 2% की छूट भी दी जा रही है। ये बहुत प्रशंसनीय निर्णय है।
In his speech, the Prime Minister said that people of UP understand the difference better between the UP before 2017 and UP after 2017. Now, Uttar Pradesh has the willpower for urban development. Mr. Modi also said that the 21st century India will move with the power of multi-modal connectivity, and many schemes and infrastructure projects run by the central government are giving thrust to urban development and generating employment in the country.
मुझे अच्छा लगा कि 3 दिनों तक लखनऊ में न्यू अर्बन इंडिया यानी भारत के शहरों के नए स्वरूप देश भर के एक्सपर्ट्स एकत्र आकर के मंथन करने वाले हैं। यहां जो प्रदर्शनी लगी है वो आजादी के इस अमृत महोत्सव में 75 साल की उपलब्धियां और देश के नए संकल्पों को भली भांति प्रदर्शित करती है।
The PM said that the maximum use of technology will transform the urban development scenario. The major changes in urban areas came with technology and things like CCTV. Integrated command centers, STP, and waste management brought big change along with them. The PM said that his government has made efforts to solve the problems of the middle class by bringing RERA into action so that the middle class can buy their dream house. The rules related to work from home during COVID scenario made life easy for the urban population. The PM said that people were apprehensive when our government started many infrastructure development projects, but it has become a reality now. He said today we are making so many houses that are more than the population of some countries.
2014 से पहले जो सरकार थी उसने देश में शहरी आवास योजनाओं के तहत सिर्फ 13 लाख मकान ही मंजूर किए थे। इसमें भी सिर्फ 8 लाख मकान ही बनाए गए। 2014 के बाद से हमारी सरकार ने पीएम आवास योजना के तहत शहरों में 1 करोड़ 13 लाख से ज्यादा घरों के निर्माण की मंजूरी दी। इसमें से 50 लाख से ज्यादा घर बनाकर उन्हें गरीबों को सौंपा भी जा चुका है।
On this occasion, the Prime Minister launched 75 urban projects for Uttar Pradesh. The Prime Minister handed over the keys of Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana urban houses to 75,000 beneficiaries digitally in 75 districts of the state and also interacted with the beneficiaries of the scheme.
हम सब मिलकर के देश को कहां से कहां ले जा सकते हैं, हमारे विश्वास को जगाने वाला ये अच्छा प्रदर्शन ही है, आपने जरूर देखनी चाहिए। आज यूपी के शहरों के विकास से जुड़े 75 प्रोजेक्ट्स विकास के उसका भी शिलान्यास और लोकार्पण किया गया है। आज ही यूपी के 75 जिलों में 75,000 लाभार्थियों को उनके अपने पक्के घर की चाबियां भी मिली है।
Mr. Modi interacted with a beneficiary, Vimlesh, from Agra.
विमलेश जी बताइए, पहले कहाँ रहती थी आप और अब मकान मिल गया, कैसा मकान मिला है?
और पहले हमारा कच्चा और टूटा पुराना मकान था और अब हमारा पक्का और अच्छा बन गया है, इसलिए अब भी हम यहीं रहते हैं।
वाह, तो इस बार पक्के मकान में दीपावली होगी?
हाँ सर।
अच्छा, आपको भारत सरकार की और कौन सी योजनाओं का लाभ मिला है?
हाँ सर, हमें जनधन योजना भी मिली है और स्वनिधि खाता लोन भी मिला है और राशन कार्ड भी है और पानी, बिजली और सिलेंडर भी है हमारे पास।
Union Housing and Urban Affairs Minister Hardeep Singh Puri, Defence Minister Rajnath Singh, Governor Anandiben Patel and Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath were also present on the occasion. Speaking on the occasion, Mr. Hardeep Singh Puri said the demand for houses under the PMAY Urban increased manifold after Yogi government came into power. Now, cities like Lucknow, Kanpur and Varanasi have more loan applicants under the scheme than Delhi and Mumbai.
अर्बन मोबिलिटी में इस समय उत्तर प्रदेश में 82 किलोमीटर मेट्रो रेल चल रही है, जिसमें 67 किलोमीटर योगी जी ने आने के बाद ऑपरेशनल की है और इस समय जोरों से काम 131 किलोमीटर पे चल रहा है, जिसमें 82 किलोमीटर की दिल्ली मेरठ रीजनल रैपिड ट्रांसपोर्ट सिस्टम जून 2025 तक तैयार हो जाएगी। एयर कनेक्टिविटी एक और क्षेत्र है जहां उत्तर प्रदेश सरकार ने बेहतरीन प्रदर्शन किया है। 2014 से पहले और 2014 तक राज्य में केवल 4 एयरपोर्ट्स थे, जिनमें से केवल 2 नियमित थे। योगी जी के मुख्यमंत्री बनने के बाद से आज राज्य में 8 एयरपोर्ट पूरी तरह से ऑपरेशनल है।
Addressing the gathering, Defence Minister and MP from Lucknow, Rajnath Singh said, "Today the country is moving towards urbanization."
आज हमारा देश पुनः तेजी से अर्बनाइजेशन की ओर बढ़ रहा है और इस क्रम में हमारा देश एक और डाटा ड्रिवन एंड टेक्नोलॉजी एनेबल्ड स्मार्ट सिटीज की परिकल्पना भी कर रहा है। दूसरी ओर हाउसिंग, इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर, सैनिटेशन और कंजेशन के चैलेंजेस को एड्रेस भी कर रहा है। वहीं तीसरी ओर हमारे यूथ के लिए एम्प्लॉयमेंट जनरेशन कर उनका भविष्य भी संवारने में महत्वपूर्ण भूमिका का निर्वाह कर रहा है। केंद्र में हमारे आदरणीय प्रधानमंत्री जी के नेतृत्व में सरकार आने के साथ ही देश के शहरी विकास की गति लगातार आगे बढ़ती जा रही है।
Listing the achievements of Uttar Pradesh, Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath said the state has achieved many milestones in the last 4.5 years in the field of urban development. He said that metro trains will start running in Kanpur from November.
उत्तर प्रदेश ने विगत 4.5 वर्ष के दौरान अर्बनाइजेशन में कुछ नई उपलब्धियां हासिल की। 2017 के पहले उत्तर प्रदेश के अंदर कुल 654 नगर निकाय थे। आज इनकी संख्या बढ़कर के 734 हुई है। उत्तर प्रदेश ने ग्रामीण और शहरी क्षेत्र में अब तक 42 लाख से अधिक परिवारों को एक आवास उपलब्ध करवाया है। हाउसिंग कंस्ट्रक्शन को एक नई दिशा देने वाली लाइट हाउस परियोजना की जो 6 परियोजनाएं देश के अंदर प्रारंभ हुई हैं, उनमें से एक प्रदेश की राजधानी लखनऊ में है। और जिस तेजी के साथ ये प्रोजेक्ट तैयार हुआ, उसमें से ज्यादातर आवास आवंटित भी हो चुके हैं।
The conference cum expo will be open to the public for the next 2 days, tomorrow and on the 7th of this month. After the inauguration session, discussions on new and emerging technology in urban areas are also being held through seminars and webinars across different sessions, and best practices in urban development from across the country are being discussed.
Over 91 crore 54 lakh COVID vaccine doses have been administered so far in the nationwide vaccination drive. A total of 18,346 new cases were reported in the last 24 hours. Active cases account for less than 1% of the total cases and is lowest since March last year. India's active caseload stands at 2,52,902, which is lowest in 201 days. The recovery rate is currently at 97.93%. Over 29,639 recoveries were reported in the last 24 hours, taking total recoveries to over 3 crore 31 lakh 50,000. Over 57 crore 53 lakh total tests have been conducted across the country so far. Government has said that more than 91 crore 77 lakh COVID vaccine doses have been provided to states and union territories so far. The Health Ministry said today that more than 6 crore 63 lakh unutilized vaccine doses are still available with the states, UTs and private hospitals to be administered.
Karnataka state government has issued guidelines for the Dussehra and Durga Puja celebrations. All the district administration has been asked to implement the guidelines in letter and spirit. Exempting Mysuru, the other districts have been asked to ensure that not more than 400 people gather to celebrate the Dussehra and Durga Puja. In Mysuru, however, 500 people will be allowed for cultural programs, 100 persons on Chamundi Hills and 500 persons for Jambu Savari or elephant procession on the Vijayadashmi day. The officials and media deputed for the Dussehra events have to get RT-PCR tests done. Wearing masks and ensuring social distance has been made mandatory. The public are requested to watch the festivities online or on Doordarshan, where it will be broadcast live. Uttarakhand High Court has given permission to all the devotees to visit the Char Dham shrine amid COVID protocols. The court has also said that all the devotees will fully follow the COVID guidelines during Char Dham Yatra. The division bench headed by the Chief Justice Raghavendra Singh Chauhan, after hearing the matter, has given permission to all the devotees to visit the Char Dham. The court has also said in its order that medical facilities should be increased in Char Dham, chopper should be arranged for serious patients, and mobile numbers should be made available on the website for its information.
Health Minister Mansukh Mandavia has expressed serious concern that 14% children across the world are affected with mental health problems. Releasing the UNICEF report on mental health through video conferencing, Mr. Mandavia said, if we ignore mental treatment, then a healthy society cannot be built. The report said that COVID-19 pandemic has exacerbated risk of mental health conditions in an entire generation. It has left a lasting impact on children and young people's mental health around the world. In the program Spotlight, we are broadcasting a special series, Seva Samarpan 20 Saal Susashan Ke. Today the theme is social empowerment, including Divyang. It showcases the government initiatives to ensure the rights and opportunities of the Divyangjan and other vulnerable sections of the society under the leadership of Prime Minister Narendra Modi. This special program can be heard on FM Gold channel and additional frequencies from 9:15 p.m. onwards. This program will also be available on the website newsonair.gov.in and on a YouTube channel News on AIR Official.
An Indian parliamentary delegation led by Lok Sabha Speaker Om Birla will visit Rome, Italy from 7th to 9th of October to attend the G20 Parliamentary Speakers Summit. The delegation will comprise of Deputy Chairman Rajya Sabha Harivansh, Secretary General Lok Sabha Utpal Kumar Singh and Secretary General Rajya Sabha Dr. P.P.K. Ramacharyulu. The overall theme of the P20 Summit is Parliaments for People, Planet and Prosperity. A joint statement will be adopted at the end of the summit. In Bihar, nomination for the sixth phase of Panchayat elections for the posts of Mukhias, Sarpanches, Zilla Parishad members, Panchayat Samiti members and ward members began from today. In this phase, election will be held in 57 blocks of 37 districts, including Patna, Rohtas, Saran and Darbhanga. Candidates can file their nomination papers till October 11 and scrutiny of nomination papers will be on October 16. Candidates can withdraw their nomination paper till October 18th. Polling will be on November 3rd and counting of votes will be held on November 13th and 14th.
In Maharashtra, polling for by-elections of 85 constituencies of 6 Zilla Parishads and 144 constituencies of Panchayat Samitis has begun from 7:30 a.m. today and will go till 5:30 p.m. The polls have been held in Dhule, Nandurbar, Akola, Washim, Nagpur, Palghar, Zilla Parishads and Panchayat Samitis in these districts. Counting of votes will be taken up tomorrow. In Gujarat, the ruling Bharatiya Janata Party has registered a landslide victory in the general, mid-term and by-elections of local bodies. According to the official sources, BJP has retained power in Gandhinagar Municipal Corporation by winning 41 seats out of total 44 seats. Congress won 2 seats while Aam Aadmi Party got 1 seat. Polling was held on Sunday. Addressing the media persons, the state BJP president C.R. Patil said that the people of Gujarat endorsed the pro-people policies of the BJP. He also praised the party workers for constantly remaining with the people during the difficult time of COVID-19 pandemic. You are listening to the Midday News on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. Prime Minister Narendra Modi says more than 3 crore poor families became Lakhpatis with PMAY housing scheme, inaugurates 3-day urban conclave in Lucknow and lays foundation stones of 75 urban projects and schemes in Uttar Pradesh. More than 80% owners of the houses under PMAY Urban are women and UP government is giving rebate of registration fee in case of woman buyer, says Prime Minister. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to virtually distribute the records of land right papers to 1,71,000 beneficiaries in Madhya Pradesh tomorrow. India's COVID-19 vaccination coverage crosses 91 crore mark. Recovery rate stands at 97.93%. Karnataka issues guidelines for Dussehra and Durga Puja celebrations. Local body polling in Maharashtra is underway. Indian shooter Aishwarya Pratap Singh Tomar smashes world record to clinch gold medal in the men's 50-meter rifle 3-position event ISSF Junior World Championships in Lima. And in IPL cricket, Rajasthan Royals to clash with Mumbai Indians at Sharjah this evening. For quick news updates around the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts.
Welcome back to the Midday News on All India Radio. In Madhya Pradesh, Prime Minister Narendra Modi will virtually distribute the records of land rights papers to 1,71,000 beneficiaries tomorrow. The state-level program will be held at Harda. More from our Bhopal correspondent.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi will virtually distribute the records of land rights papers to beneficiaries tomorrow under the Pradhan Mantri Swamitva Yojana. The land records papers will be distributed in 3,000 villages of 19 districts as part of Jan Kalyan and Suraj Abhiyan of the state. Chief Minister Shivraj Singh Chauhan will also address the program. Revenue Minister of the state, Govind Singh Rajput, informed that the rules of the survey have been simplified as per present requirements in order to provide maximum benefits of the scheme to the beneficiaries. Pooja P. Vardhan, AIR News, Bhopal.
As our nation celebrates the 75th year of independence, a series of events is being organized by the government as a part of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. Let's listen to our special program, Azadi Ka Safar, highlighting the importance of the day during the freedom struggle.
Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav.
Azadi Ka Safar with AIR News, Birth of a Nation. India's glorious freedom struggle is one of the greatest struggles the modern world has ever witnessed. AIR News brings you a glimpse of the struggle every day.
The day of 5th October is the birth anniversary of freedom fighter Baji Raut. He was merely a 12-year-old boy when he fearlessly stood in front of a bunch of British sepoys, denying them service. Baji Raut was born in 1926 at the Neelkantpur village in Dhenkanal, Odisha. Son of Hari Raut, Baji was a boatman and volunteer of the Braja Mandal in the Dhenkanal state. He was responsible for the task of keeping vigil on the movement of the state police and troops at the Neelkantpur Ghat on the Brahmini River.
On the night of October 10th in 1938, a number of policemen and soldiers tried to force him to take them across the river in his boat. The 12-year-old boy refused to do so and told them they were enemies of the people. A soldier struck him on his head with the butt of his gun and his skull was fractured. Despite his serious injuries, he raised an alarm and warned the villagers about the arrival of the soldiers and policemen. He died the same night due to excessive loss of blood. The bravery and patriotism of young Baji Raut has been immortalized in the poem Boatman by the famous Odia poet Sachi Rautarai.
On the day of 5th October in 1938, in Kerala, a serious and violent confrontation took place between the British armed force and freedom fighters at Kadakkal, a village about 48 kilometers north of Trivandrum. The arrest of some state Congress workers provoked the people very much. The situation of the area was already tense due to the exorbitant toll collected by the agents of the government from the market at Kadakkal, though its intensity was not so hard as in the nearby markets of Kallara, Pangode area. The state Congress workers of Kadakkal exhorted the people not to pay the toll. Also, they obstructed the sale of liquor.
On 29 September, the protesters stormed the police station in the area and the small police party sustained injuries. In view of the alarming strength and fury of the mob, the police temporarily withdrew to Kotarkara. The people had already seized the guns and swords kept in the station.
On 5th October, 2 platoons of military arrived at the area and suppressed the agitation with an iron hand. 13 houses were set on fire by the police and military. People were mercilessly beaten and tortured. Several cases were framed against the leaders and participants of the movement.
Also on 5th October 1943, a freedom fighter from Bihar, Binda Singh, was martyred. Binda Singh actively participated in the Quit India movement. He was arrested and seriously wounded in an assault by the police. Detained thereafter in Fulwari Sharif Camp jail, he died there on 5th October on account of the police torture.
In a similar incident in Bengal, freedom fighter Shyama Charan Das attained martyrdom. Das belonged to the Bahadurpur village of Medinipur district. He was a political worker and took part in the Quit India movement. while participating in the volunteers' raid on the Bhagwanpur police station on 5th October 1942. He received bullet wounds in the police firing and died on the spot.
Today is also the death anniversary of Meherban Gwala. He belonged to the infantry regiment of the English East India Company. Gwala participated in the rebellion of 1857 and was arrested by the British East India Army at Shahabad, now in Bihar. Charged with the offence of mutiny, Gwala was sentenced to death on 5th October 1857.
That brings us to the end of this episode of Azadi Ka Safar with AIR News. See you in next episode tomorrow.
भारत के स्वतंत्रता संग्राम में अनगिनत स्वतंत्रता सेनानियों ने अपने प्राणों की आहुति दी। कुछ इतिहास में अमर हो गए और कई गुमनाम। आजादी के अमृत महोत्सव के अंतर्गत 75 कड़ियों की श्रृंखला में हम उन वीरांगनाओं की बात करेंगे जिनका योगदान कभी भुलाया नहीं जा सकता। प्रत्येक मंगलवार परिक्रमा में सुनिए अपराजिता, देश की वीरांगनाओं को आकाशवाणी का सादर नमन।
China has sent 56 fighter planes towards Taiwan yesterday, the largest ever show of force in a single day. According to Taiwan's Ministry of National Defense, Monday's sortie included J-16 fighter jets and 86 bombers, among other aircrafts. The island has been complaining for more than a year about China's Air Force repeatedly flying nearby. In response, China accused Washington of provocative behavior while warning against supporting Taiwanese independence. In IPL cricket, Rajasthan Royals will clash with Mumbai Indians at Sharjah at 7:30 p.m. Earlier, Delhi Capitals defeated Chennai Super Kings by 3 wickets at Dubai last night. In the International Shooting Sport Federation ISSF Junior World Championships in Lima, young Indian shooter Aishwarya Pratap Singh Tomar smashed the world record in the final to win gold in the men's 50-meter rifle 3 positions event. The youngster then battered the junior world record in the final with a score of 463.4, finishing nearly 7 points ahead of second-placed Frenchman Lucas Chris, who won the silver with a score of 456.5.
High Commissioner of India to Bangladesh Vikram Doraiswamy handed over 2 life support ambulances to Bangladesh today. These ambulances are part of the overall program of supply of 109 life support ambulances announced by the Prime Minister of India Narendra Modi during his visit to Bangladesh in March this year. Now let us take a look at the weather update today. The national capital Delhi is likely to have partly cloudy sky with very light rain or drizzle. Minimum temperature was 26 degrees Celsius, while maximum is expected to be 35 degrees. Mumbai will have generally cloudy sky. It recorded a minimum temperature of 27 degrees Celsius, while the maximum is expected to be 35 degrees. Chennai is expected to have thunderstorm with rain. Lower limit of temperature was 26 degrees Celsius, while upper limit is expected to be nearly 34 degrees. Kolkata is likely to have partly cloudy sky with possibility of moderate rain or thunderstorm. Srinagar will have mainly clear sky becoming partly cloudy towards afternoon or evening. Leh will have partly cloudy sky. Gilgit will also have partly cloudy sky, and Muzaffarabad will have partly cloudy sky too. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Prime Minister Narendra Modi says more than 3 crore poor families became Lakhpatis with PMAY housing scheme. Inaugurates 3-day urban conclave in Lucknow and lays foundation stones of 75 urban projects and schemes in Uttar Pradesh. More than 80% owners of the houses under PMAY urban are women, and UP government is giving rebate of registration fee in case of a woman buyer, says Prime Minister. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to virtually distribute the records of land rights papers to 171,000 beneficiaries in Madhya Pradesh tomorrow. India's COVID-19 vaccination coverage crosses 91 crore mark, recovery rate at 97.93%. Karnataka issues guidelines for Dussehra and Durga Puja celebrations. Local body polling in Maharashtra underway. Indian shooter Aishwarya Pratap Singh Tomar smashes world record to clinch gold medal in men's 50-meter rifle 3-position event at ISSF Junior World Championship in Lima. And in IPL cricket, Rajasthan Royals to clash with Mumbai Indians at Sharjah this evening. And with that, we end the midday news.